Alright folks, after this video, I promise we are moving away from Antonio Speaks. But I do find the Antonio Speaks channel quite fascinating because it's like a bad take dispensary. And what we can do on this channel is use those bad takes as launching off points to give better advice or perspectives. So in that regard, the Antonio Speaks channel is quasi-useful. So I was in Mr. Z's live watching him respond to some criticism or some back and forth commentary that Antonio Speaks channel and Mr. Z's channel were having. And, you know, he did a great job defending himself and what he stands for. I really just wanted to address Antonio Speaks' commentary on the red pill and how he doesn't feel the red pill is for black men. And that brings us to the title of this video, which I think black men need red pill the most because we are the most indoctrinated into being servants of our women. That's what this society wants us to be. They want you to be like the Terminator, just a machine that's like primary directive, protect Keisha. And really what ends up happening is Keisha ends up, while you're being a man in your mind by following your primary directive given by this society, Keisha ends up leading you to your destruction. And what the red pill does, it's like a key that unlocks your mind. You know how when you jailbreak an iPhone, suddenly you have all these other operations that you can do on the phone that were locked before? Well, when you unlock your mind from that primary directive that this society places on you, you end up having the freedom to pursue your true potential. And your true potential is to compete with Brad. He is not your friend, he is your competition. And to compete with the other men of the other nations. That's what we're here to do, black man. We're not here to be servants or underclass citizens and just have people place us wherever they see fit. We're here to conquer. We're here to compete. They don't want you to have that attitude. But that's the attitude you need to have. And anyone trying to prevent you from being on top of the food chain needs to automatically be casted aside. That's it. If they don't want you to rule, then they're revealing their true intentions right there. Now, what you have to understand is YouTube is a subsidiary of Google, and Brad runs all of that. So what I've noticed with a lot of these channels that aren't directed towards children, if you want to discuss politics or current events or social issues as a black man, you can go down two paths to get to the over 100,000 subs division of YouTube. Either you have a Brad-friendly channel, such as Officer Tatum, where police officer Brad never does anything wrong, all black men are criminals, and white society is, you know, they're good figureheads for the country, and we should just shut up and never question anything they do. That's your Officer Tatum route. That's your black, what's that guy's name? Black conservative perspective. That was formerly the Amazing Lucas's grift. That's the Hodge twins right there. And many others. Or you can have an extremely Keisha-friendly channel. And that's what Antonio Speaks does. That's what your Anton Daniels does. And to be fair, I don't think Antonio Speaks is some kind of agent or anything like that. I think it's simple supply and demand. YouTube wants a lot of anti-red pill content out there because of the impact red pill has had on the youth over the last, 5 or 6 years. Men are listening to red pill content creators. We're making a lot of sense. And society is afraid because it's cutting into the economy. So what Antonio Speaks is doing, he's just grifting. It's supply and demand. You want anti-red pill content, you want anti-black male leadership content, I will give that to you. It's a simple equation. He's just making a quick buck. I just have a problem with it because it's at the expense of my people, American black men. And one more point I wanted to touch on, which I think encapsulates the importance of the content I'm trying to create, is there's an obvious gender disparity where women are obviously shown preferential treatment in society and men are looked at as expendable. That is because the money supply is largely impacted by the prospective value of its citizens. We are given prospective values at birth via our birth certificates. That helps back the money supply and the value of said money supply. From the government's perspective, women are primarily needed as breeders. That is why there is so much controversy over low birth rates right now. It's not because more people are necessarily needed for society to run. They barely have jobs for the people who are out here now, but they need debt slaves to back the money supply. That's all it's about. That's why they don't acknowledge abuses committed by women. That's why the court decisions are often favorable to women, even when it makes no sense. That's why they're given lesser sentences than men are for the same criminal offenses. They are protected because they need a certain amount of women to keep the birth rates up. Like, have you ever asked yourself why you need a passport to travel to another country? Well, if you have, it's because every country looks at their citizens as a human resource. You are on a balance sheet with a projected value that you are going to create based on your background. So when you visit another country, you need the passport so that that country can say, okay, I have an asset and it's going to be visiting your country for a certain period of time, but it's not your asset, so I need you to make sure my asset gets back at the projected return date. It's just an asset management system. If you have any experience with how the livestock industry works in Europe, you know that they do the exact same thing with livestock there. They assign passports to it so that they can track the livestock from the farm to slaughter. That is also why in the future there's going to be a push for the digital ID, a social credit system, and then the RFID chip, because they have a goal of marching you as a human resource in a certain monetary direction. And I will do everything I can to decrease the number of black men who end up letting this society march them right into the prison industrial complex or the Keisha industrial complex. We're done with both. We're not debating anymore. This is bigger than Cynthia G. This is bigger than Nick Fuentes. The black wife experience, or whatever the heck TikTok is talking about. It's time for us as black men to get very serious, become very skilled, and start building. The debates are over. We need to push Keisha to the side and say, hey, you had your chance. All of these channels, from Antonio Speaks to FD Signifier, you know, Brad can give them 10 million subscribers each. They're all just black man go back to sleep channels. But I want you to know, as the listener, anyone discouraging you from sitting in the driver's seat of your life should be automatically disqualified. But without further ado, that was kind of a long-ass intro. But let's get into the clip.
Underway. This response isn't going to be that long. And so, here we go.
Y'all some real niggas. Now what I want to address now is this dumb theory I came across on someone's video about me. So someone did a live stream, Mr. Z, he said the pro-black white night pill and Antonio talk. And this
Shout out to Mr. Z, by the way. I think that's quite clever.
This is my video when I said red pill aren't for black men. And like I say this all the time, bro, I don't really want to talk down on black women because they get a lot of hate already. While I do understand there are problems with black women in the black community, it's problems with everyone. And this is my thing.
I love how he just sweeps the issues under the rug as problems. Highest DV rates in the country, highest paternity fraud rates in the country, highest divorce rates in the country, highest abortion rates in the country. But you know, just problems. Everybody's got them. I think the big issue is our women are leading in all of those problems. So it's not just a problem everybody has. And then with that in mind, to suggest that red pill isn't for black men which is also sort of suggesting that we as black men shouldn't be educated on these statistics, these behaviors that are backed by statistical evidence. I mean, that makes no sense at all. It's basically, like I said, it's basically black man, go back to sleep. Don't worry about being surrounded by enemies. Just go back to sleep.
Same red pill, alpha male, black people, black males that talk down on black women, they don't have the same balls when it's towards white men. My thing is, if you're gonna talk down on these black women, keep that same energy for the white men.
Ah, yes, the classic, bet you won't speak to the white man like that. Here's the problem, Chief. Our women are complicit with white men. They're working in concert with white men. So we're addressing both. That's the issue. And weren't you just saying that white men and black women are better couples than black men and white women together? So you're not fighting Brad. Get out of here. You were defending Brad Keisha relationships, so your logic isn't even consistent there. You're just a Keisha pleaser. That's it. You're chasing a quick buck, and you'll do what you have to do to please that Keisha side of the YouTube sphere.
People that we need to be actually addressing. That's my theory. So a lot of these black dudes in the red pill space, they be hating on me making these little videos like this dude right here. I didn't even watch it, but I just want to address the comment section. This comment right here said Antonio's channel blew up way too fast and got artificially boosted by the algorithm. I'm convinced that he's working with somebody and is disingenuous. He seems handpicked and spiritually broken. No point in watching a hit dog holler. So
It's great to see so many black men waking up and evolving. You can tell Keisha and Brad don't know what to do about it. That's why they're having KKK meetings. That's why YouTube's pushing content like this. It's just great to see. So let's hold the line, black men.
You say this, bro. Why is it that always in the black community, when someone gains some notoriety, they sold their soul, they're working with somebody, it's like all my hard work is going out the window, bro. Somebody else did it for me. No, let me explain to y'all how YouTube works. YouTube is very algorithmic. I don't even know the word. It's ran off an algorithm. And once you get into that algorithm, you're good. Now to get into the algorithm, let me just give y'all some sauce. You have to make engaging videos. If people are watching your video, YouTube's gonna be like, this person.
I'm gonna save you a very long-winded explanation here, but YouTube's algorithm is based on engagement via likes and comments and subscribers, and it's also based on watch length time. So if you have a watch length, pushing greater than 50%, it's gonna push your content out more. But what he's not mentioning here is that they have caps for your channel. Like if you're pushing content that they don't view as advertiser friendly, then they will suppress your content. So if you're catering to women, they'll view it as advertiser friendly. So they'll increase the threshold that your videos can go out to. And if you're pushing content that's white man friendly, they feel like that's marketable because there's a lot of conservative sponsorship there too. So they'll push it out further. But a lot of pro-black male content, they don't see the market for it, so they try to suppress it, whether you're making sense or not, whether you're being factual or not. It's all about who they think they can advertise to. Like the reason FD Signifier's channel is so big is because it's basically a pro-Democrat, pro-Keisha channel. So there's a lot of avenues for advertiser revenue that they wouldn't see in an accountable commentary channel, even though I think accountable commentary gives much more relevant advice for black men.
So this whole, I'm an industry plant. No, bro. I'm just a nigga that started to make videos.
Well, you're a grifter, but I'll give you credit. You saw an opportunity and you took it. And you know your market and what to say and what not to say. So I will give you credit there. But let's move on to Mr. Z's response, because he's just doing the classic. Man, just hating on a brother, man. We're not hating. We've seen this story before and how it ends. Just be careful, man. The minute you stray from Keisha's leash, you will find out what we're talking about.
All right, Antonio Talks. Let's address this. Simply put, you're not the only person. You and a number of content creators, talking heads, pundits, taste protecting black women. Mr. Z's not about not protecting black women. We're not about attacking black women over here. The question is, are black women infallible in relationship to black men? That's great. What your intention is to not throw more dirt on black women's name. Cool. What happens when black women throw dirt on black men's name? Uh-oh. When black women throw dirt on black men's name, what are we to do with that? Are we to be quiet, shut up, man up, let her vent because that's your role, beginning it? You acknowledge that black women might have some issues that they might need to work on. Yeah, and when is that going to start happening? Real question. Yeah, when is that going to start happening? Antonio talks, you're not the only one, brother, whether it's foreign man in a foreign land, whether it's Alvin from Waving the Red Flag. I listened to something earlier that they addressed a couple months ago. Once again, Alvin on the same type of stuff, throwing black men under the bus, of course. Whether it's Waving the Red Flag, Alvin in particular, whether it's FD Signifier, whether it's Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, whether it's Consciously, whether it's Lil Bill, whether it's brother, you're not the only one. And I'm just listing the black men. I'm not even listing black women. So if every single, it's not every single, but if every single big name content creator that is black, the men and the women, if the folks doing the numbers, we could list off Boyce Watkins, we could list off Lily D. If the people doing the numbers have decided they're all going to put their thumb on the scale for black women concerning the conversation between black men and black women. So who's talking up for black men, straight black men in particular? Who? I'll wait.
Nobody chasing monetization is going to stick up for black men's interests exclusively. Brad's monetization game is rigged against that. That's why I have so much respect for anybody in the black manosphere and the red pill community at large speaking up for black men and their issues, because the majority of us are not doing it for the money. There's no money in it. We just care about black men and black boys.
Who's talking up? Who's speaking up for black men? Who? Antonio, that's a real question. All we have is the black community saying, oh, we got to protect black women. Okay, fine. And black men? Uh-oh. Crickets. Crickets. So if everyone has decided that black men must fend for themselves, okay, perfectly fine. That's why you get the black men you get. You know, the black men that are dating and marrying out. You know? The black men that are dating and marrying out. My apologies, y'all. I had to put the pedal to the metal real quick. Made it. All right, moving along. You get the black men that you get. Tone. That's it. Antonio talk. That's it. Everyone feels like they're doing black women a solid. Perfect. Let them subsidize themselves. Watch them be single, lonely, and horny, pretending like they're not, because there will be no correction. Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. Because there will be no correction, because we keep on saying to black men, ignore her misbehavior. You sounded kind of sassy. Are you sure you're not gay? You look like you date white women. And increasingly, that one is true. Oops. It's really non-black women in general, but you know. Tone talks. I said Tone talks. Sorry, wrong person. Antonio talks. This will not work. Well, not for black women anyway. I hear you. You don't want to. You don't want to do wrong by black women. You want to protect black women. Mr. Z gets it. And we're gonna play that clip one more game.
Y'all some real niggas. Now, what I want to address now is this dumb theory I came across on someone's video about me. So someone did a live stream, Mr. Z, he said the pro-black white night pill and Antonio talk. And this is my video when I said red pill aren't for black men. And like I say this all the time, bro, I don't really want to talk down on black women because they get a lot of hate already. While I do understand there are problems with black women in the black community, it's problems with everyone. And this is my thing. These same red pill alpha male black people, black males that talk down on black women, they don't have the same balls when it's towards white men. My thing is, if you're going to...
So, first, a lot of hate. Mr. Z doesn't hate black women. I'm engaged to a black woman.
I added that part in, but in all seriousness, congratulations on the engagement. If you can make it work, good on you. But I just wanted to add Mr. Z's response in there because I think he explained the situation we're in pretty well. No one is looking out for you, black man. They actually hope that protecting Keisha's lead to your destruction. And for the older Manosphere guys, like Manosphere 1.0 and 2.0, my biggest issue with them is that they're still trying to make it work with Keisha. That's like my only issue with them. You know, whether it's coming back to the table and renegotiating or any of this other stuff. I lost faith in the black marriage, even hope that there's an exception, when I found out that that turkey leg hut guy was going through it with his wife. When that happened, I said, all right, it doesn't really matter what you do. You know, you can have it all together, and it seems like they'll come for you eventually, no matter what. There's always some kind of craziness going on. But if you brothers want to take the Pepsi plunge, I wish you the best of luck. But remember, black man, you have to put yourself first at all times. You are the priority. The only women we need to be protecting are the women that make us the priority. If they're unwilling to do that, then it's not your job to protect them.